I, for 2 years, have been talking about illegal immigration. Yes, I've been out into the English Channel again and again, filming the small boats, trying to shame the rest of British media into covering the story, trying to shame politicians into even admitting that we have a problem. Well, I'm pleased to say, since GBNews came on air a year ago, we've absolutely led the way with this on story after story. So what is Rishi Sunak, our new Prime Minister, going to do? Well, he's had a meeting with President Macron on the edges, on the fringes of COP27. He says he's very optimistic we can start to deal with the problem. Guess what he's going to do? We're going to give the French another £80 million. Yes, that's right, another £80 million to try and stop the boats leaving from French beaches. We gave them tens of millions last year, tens of millions the year before, and yet every year that goes by, the numbers come across the channel seem to double. And even if we put British agents on those French beaches, remember what I've said to you before, they're launching on a 70-mile stretch of French coast. There are hundreds of square miles of sand dunes in which they can hide. You can stop them one day, but they're back the next day. The reason they're coming, actually, it isn't the fault of the French. Yes, it's me, Nigel Farage, saying that, but I promise you, it isn't the fault of the French. It's our fault, because we put them in 4-star hotels, give them 3 square meals a day, they get free medical care. Oh, they can get dentists. You try and get on an NHS dentist list, and we give them 38 quid a week spending money. They're coming because of the pull factors, and they're coming increasingly to work in the illegal, criminal drugs and prostitution trade within our country. They are the hard facts of life. And in a moment, I'm going to talk about immigration, illegal immigration in the USA. A few more comments from you, though, before I get to that. Chris says, Sunak, like the rest of decent Tory MPs, is unable to think for himself. He will always follow the virtue-signalling woke socialists in every decision he makes. And, you know, you're right. Conservative politicians are terrified of media criticism. It's why, love him or hate him, Donald Trump is so remarkable, because he just doesn't care. Edward says, I think Rishi is making the right noises, but it's not big enough. He shouldn't have ruled out fracking. No, he certainly shouldn't. And finally, another says, Sunak will not have a constituency behind him on fracking. Yorkshire will be one of the main exploration sites. You know, it's a funny thing. People can say, oh, we don't want gas to be drilled, you know, in the local hills. The funny thing is, once you start doing it, and thousands of people start getting very well-paid jobs, and that leads to pubs, restaurants, hotels, and everybody else flourishing. It's funny, you know, how people can, when it comes to financially doing better, change their minds.